Now on Sportscenter, a trip to the NBA Finals is on the line. Live news conferences from Mike D'Antoni and Steve Kerr leading up to Game 7 tonight. Plus, an update on Chris Paul's status. The best of baseball, stars in action on Memorial Day. See Verlander, Price, Trout, Harper, Judge, Machado, and more. And Alejandro Villanueva, U.S. Army veteran and Pittsburgh Steelers offensive tackle, shares with us what Memorial Day means to him and what we should all remember this holiday weekend. This is SportsCenter.
National champs, dude! Sorry. Hey, thanks for rolling with us for a bonus hour of SportsCenter on this Memorial Day. And in addition to paying our respects to those who gave the ultimate sacrifice for our country, this holiday has historically produced, Kevin, some epic sports moments, and we could have another one tonight in Houston.
Game 7 with the defending champs' legacy at stake against the Rockets and the favorite to win league MVP in James Harden. Speaking of MVPs, we got the arrival of a guy that won it twice before, Steph Curry. Game 6, the first time this series that Curry led the Warriors in total touches, and we saw what happened. They were fantastic in the second half. Curry locked in and ready to go for this road game to decide whether this team is advancing to the NBA Finals. The key to victory for the Rockets tonight will be their defense. In their 3 wins in this series, they forced the Warriors into more than 16 turnovers per game. In the 3 losses, they've forced fewer than 10 takeaways a contest. And the Warriors will have to stay hot from the outside, their bread and butter. They've hit 14 triples, shot 41% from beyond the arc in their wins. In the losses, just 9 threes per game, 34% shooting. How about the injuries? Andre Iguodala will be out for Game 7, the 4th straight game he's going to miss. The Warriors play about 5 possessions slower per game when he's on the bench than when he's on the floor. And the big injury everybody's focused on. Still unclear whether Chris Paul will play for the Rockets. Houston struggled in the second half of the Game 6 loss. In Games 1 through 5, CP3 was their leading scorer in the second half with 13 points per game. Michael?
Well, Michael Wilbon hanging out with us here on SportsCenter live from Houston. And, you know, Mike, Chris Paul, he had to watch from the bench as Golden State outscored his Rocket squad 93-47 over those final 3 quarters in a blowout loss in Game 6. And, we're just minutes away from hopefully finding out if he's going to be able to play tonight. But let's say, for the sake of argument, Mike, he can't go. How do the Rockets win tonight without him?
They're going to need big performances at home, which is within reason, from all of their big guns. We saw them do this in Game 5. And they also did it, once in Oakland. I mean, obviously it starts with James Harden, who more than likely they need to get a really good game from, if not a great game. But also Trevor Ariza and P.J. Tucker and Eric Gordon. These guys are more than capable. And I think I know that they are encouraged by what they did in the first half, Michael, of Game 6. Now, it didn't work out well for them, but I think they saw something about the way they can play. Obviously, it's going to be harder to sustain that for an entire game, but they are at home. They're going to have an energy from this home crowd, presumably, that they wouldn't have in Oakland. So, but all those guys and more are going to have to play really well. I don't think it's beyond possibility, but it's going to be really difficult to play without Chris Paul in this kind of game when he's been through Game 5s, Game 6s, Game 7s, as some of the others haven't been through, and played better than James Harden as recently as Game 5 when he limped off this floor. So a cast is going to take an ensemble effort for the Houston Rockets tonight to make up for the absence, presuming he's really absent, of Chris Paul.
All right, Mike, then, so with that said, who wins tonight and why?
Well, listen. I mean, Chris Paul being out, it's really unfortunate for basketball connoisseurs, Michael, people who want to watch the best 2 teams in the regular season, and these were the best 2 teams, play each other at full strength or something close to it. And Andre Iguodala missing is important to Golden State. Let's not understate that. But you can't make the case that he's any more than the 5th most important Warrior, even though he does things sometimes that the others can't do. Chris Paul, I would make the case, is the best Rockets player. I know James Harden is going to be the MVP, and deservedly so. I'm not talking about awards now. I'm talking about what you do in the clutch, what it is your teammates come to depend on you to do, and how you lead. And Chris Paul is one of the best at that in the NBA. And it's a shame we're not going to be able to see him, but we're not. And if we do, it's going to be in some attempted maybe Willis Reed role, a limited role. Everybody you talk to who's had this injury says you can't cut on a bad hamstring no matter how you wrap it. You can't shoot it up. There's not much you can do. So without Chris Paul out there looking like Chris Paul, it's just hard for me to pick the Rockets. I see Golden State, winning tonight, whether it's close or really close or overtime by some means. I just see the Warriors moving on and advancing to the finals again.
The Rockets acquired Chris Paul for moments just like the one we're going to have tonight. It's going to be a shame for him if he's not able to go and at least give it some quality effort out there tonight in a Game 7 against the defending champions. Michael Wilbon live in Houston. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Michael.
All right, still to come on SportsCenter. When Mike D'Antoni talks to the media and updates Chris Paul's status for tonight's game, we will bring it to you live right here later on SportsCenter.
Shots so he doesn't work as hard and run out of gas. You had the screen, the fake screen, but we're getting into the same thing. And now we're playing, and now we're playing, and now we're getting easy layups. Early in the shot clock, the defense is still in transition. You can't get to the basket. Now the other way is Capella's already down a lot of times. I get the ball in transition, and he's already down, but I want the same thing. I come off, but this time they switch. This is what he likes because I could give it here. James Harden's left-handed. I could throw it in the left corner and make an easy pass there. Or he gets into his favorite move and he steps sideways and he shoots the three and he goes in. So now you have so many multiple ways to score, but it's early in the shot clock. And the last way, in the half court, they have to. It's imperative that they get quicker shots so he doesn't work as hard and run out of gas. You had the screen, the fake screen, but we're getting into the same thing. And now we're playing, and now we're playing, and now we're getting easy layups in transition. So Draymond Green, Kevin Durant, and their length get out negated. And then we become Clutch City. One more time, Clutch City 3. There it is.
I know one thing.
All that booing had nothing to do with Kenny making the shot.
I know one
Golden
thing.
State got to the floor.
If the Rockets put that team out there, they're going to get their ass whooped.
But more importantly, I just think that they're not changing what they do. They just have to change when they do it. They have to be quicker into it because James runs out of gas. If you're going to play him 45 minutes, he's going to run out of gas if you have him going late into the shot clock. But if you have him going earlier into the shot clock, he won't run out of gas when it's 3 minutes to go in the game. And then you can keep the ball in his hands longer.
Last two games, James Harden, 15 field goals, 15 turnovers. They are relying on the beard tonight in Game 7. Why does Shaq look like, what is he? He's headed to a board meeting at the Welch's Grape Juice headquarters.
First of all, my suit is blue, not grape.
Oh, that's not. Well, that is funny. That is funny. It's a little funny. Just a little bit. It's a little funny.
Tell your mama meet me at the airport. I apologize. Going to send his mama a jet. She could meet me at the airport.
And the 2018 Kia NBA MVP and most valuable player. What? Go, I got it. It's right here on the teleprompter. And the 2018 Kia NBA MVP is Anthony Davis! Ah! James Harden. Ah! LeBron James. Ah!
Watch the NBA Awards on TNT. Presented by Kia, June 25th.
I'm ready for the show. Let's go.
This is Game 7, baby. They are on fire. Curry and Thompson going nuts. Curry is saying, we're not going home.
The Warriors win a best-of-7 series while trailing 3 games to 1. And you make memories in Game 7.
So, back-to-back nights with Game 7s in the NBA playoffs. When Cleveland won last night at Boston, it made road teams 27 and 104 in NBA history on the road. So Houston has that number going for them playing at home. But again, no Chris Paul in this one.
That breaks my heart up. Because the guy,
comes to Houston to get to the finals. He gets that unnecessary thing. He's never made it to the conference finals. And they're up 3-2. And he gets his hamstring hurt. I mean, that just breaks my heart for that kid.
And on both sides, really, too, because you like to see everybody full strength. Let's see your best against their best, and we haven't been able to see that start to finish.
Yeah, but it's a little different for Chris because those guys already won the championship. This would have been Chris' first time getting to the finals.
Yes.
And first of all, I said it was unnecessary. They accused him of not. You hear he's never made it to the conference finals. It wasn't because of him. And to get hurt when he's up 3-2, that just breaks my heart.
And that's why I hope his teammates come out and play super inspired basketball for him. Done a lot for this city, and, you know, they owe him that.
It's Game 7, Western Finals, Rockets and Warriors. Coming up a shade over 10 minutes from now here on TNT.
Harper's on Miller. McKee gets it in the middle for the win. 4/10 of a second. One of the greatest clutch playoff performers of his generation.
To Duncan, want him making the pass. The inbounds comes into Elliott, a right corner three. Goal! San Antonio takes the lead. The 6th three-pointer today for Sean Elliott. Oh my God! Sean Elliott!
Man, here's hoping we get a Memorial Day memory maker like that. X Factor tonight. Zaza Pachulia, is that from Aaron Rodgers? That would be a major X Factor.
Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the world, but he ain't got no chance of ever working out.
Kenny, we only got a short time left here as we get set for Game 7. It seemed like Golden State dodged a really bad start the other day, an unfocused start. Steph Curry says we got to be dialed in, laser focused from the jump. What are you watching for in the first 5 minutes of this game?
I'm not looking for the first 5, Ernie. I think it's the end. I think, can the Rockets not run out of gas without Chris Paul?
Well,
that to me is going to be the difference.
And I'm going to disagree with Kenny Olympics. I think the beginning is important because they can feed with this crowd. This is a great environment, just like Golden State when they get going at home, because they won't run out of gas at home. Because when you're tired at home, the crowd can help you.
Who's going to the finals?
I'm going with Houston Rockets. I'm rooting for Houston.
I'm going with the Rockets.
I'm the only one picking the Warriors?
No, I'm rooting for the Rockets.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, me too.
We welcome you back. TNT NBA tip-off presented by Auto Trader. And the atmosphere incredible here in Houston on this Memorial Day, where we're going to take a couple hours and watch basketball with a shot at the finals. Here's Matt Thomas, the PA announcer.
Ladies and gentlemen, on this Memorial Day, we ask that you join us in a moment of silence, honoring the heroes who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom. Thank you. And now, remain standing and remove your hats for the singing of our national anthem, performed by the singer-songwriter from Season 10 of American Idol, Adrian Michael.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we've held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rolled out, the bombs bursting in air, jingle band again. Way for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
To Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals. Now, let's meet tonight's starters. First, for the Golden State Warriors. At forward, 6'9" from Texas, number 35, Kevin Durant. The other forward is 6'9" from UCLA, number 5, Kevon Looney. The center, 6'7" from Michigan State, number 23, Draymond Green. And one guard, 6'7" from Washington State, number 11, Klay Thompson. The other guard is 6'3" from Davidson, number 30, Stephen Curry. Head coach of the Warriors, Steve Kerr.
We have a Game 7 with everything on the line.
These are the moments you live for, man. You want this opportunity.
We ready for it, and that's what we work hard for all year.
Game 7, that's what you play for.
We got a whole city behind us. Game 7 in H-Town. Let's get it.
On this Memorial Day weekend, it has come down to a 7th and final game at the Toyota Center, Houston, Texas. And as you heard during the player introductions, this crowd is all pumped up. The Western Conference Finals on TNT is presented by Hulu. It's the defending champion Golden State Warriors and the Houston Rockets, with the winner advancing to the NBA Finals to face LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Hi, everybody. I'm Marv Albert, along with Chris Webber. Reggie Miller will be joined in a moment by David Aldridge and Kristen Ledlow. First, the injury report. Both Chris Paul and Andre Iguodala will be out once again. Now, you guys both have had experiences with 7th and decisive games. Chris, you appeared in 2. Reggie, there were 5. What is the mindset going into tonight for these players?
And all 5 of my game 7s happened on the road. So for Golden State, it comes down to pace and possessions. For pace, you know Houston wants to run up and shoot 40-plus threes. Be deliberate with your pace, as well as for possessions. It's simple. In the 3 wins, you average 10 turnovers. In the 3 losses, 16 turnovers. Take care of the basketball, see?
And on the road, I mean, at home, you have your star, James Harden, MVP candidate. He's going to play 40 to 48 minutes. But what is the bench going to do in those minutes that he's either on the bench or lethargic? They must win those minutes, make good decisions, no turnovers.
All right, the lineups for Golden State. Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, Kevon Looney up front at the guards. Klay Thompson coming off a sensational game, and Steph Curry. Houston with Trevor Ariza, P.J. Tucker, Clint Capella. In the backcourt, Eric Gordon and James Harden.